Hey everybody, this is John from Legacy Woodworking Machinery, and today we are going to be solving a challenge from one of our customers, Peter Martucci. Now, Peter sent over this Air Force shadow box, and what he would like to do is put mortise and tenons in each of these corners here that aren't square, aren't 90 degrees. They're either one's at 30 and one's at 60. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the first thing that we drew for that, and we drew ourselves two angle finding jigs. Now, these were pretty straightforward. All we did is I drew a 15-degree angle right here and a 30-degree angle right here. This way, I can put the top of this on the table of my machine, and I can swing the vertical fence out until it fits against this here, which will give me an exact 30-degree angle. And the same thing over here on my 15-degree angle. So this is the first step into getting it ready to cut mortise and tenons on the machine. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at what we did. So the first thing we did is we came over to our shadow box. We redrew it here. Then I came in and I added my mortise and tenons where they would be. Now it looks like an optical illusion, but this from this point here to the edge and this one here to the edge are the exact same size. Now down here on the 30 degree, 60 total, I had to move it over so that this point here wouldn't come out the front. And so I actually moved it over an extra 1/4 inch. So this side here is a 1/4 inch less than this side here. Now why is that important? Because when we take our angle right here and we look at how we're going to build this guy, we need to know all of these extra measurements. The first is how much higher is this point than the actual point on the top of your material. And that happens to be 0.38 inches on the 30 degree. Okay. And on the 15 degree, it's 0.19 inches. So a couple differences in degrees. Each one of them are going to be different. You're going to need to sketch it out so you understand what you're doing. The next thing we needed to find out was how far from this far right point to the beginning of our tenon or our mortise was this piece going to be. And this one happened to be right here, which is our 0.72. Okay. And then our total overall distance was 0.15. We have it here and up here. So let's go ahead and lay this out from the top view so you can see what it's going to look like. First thing we need to know is that we have a box here with square corners, and this is going to be 1.15, and this is going to be 3 because that's as tall as his shadow box was. Let's go ahead and hit apply. So there's our box. The second was to build our tenon. So we're going to copy and paste this box, and we're going to shrink this down to 0.25 and this one down to 2. And that's going to look like that. So here it is here. And usually it's pretty straightforward. We put it in the middle if it was straight up and down, but here from this right edge, I want it forward 0.72 inches. So if I drag this over till it snaps, then I'm going to use my move command, which is this one here. And I go relative in the x of negative 0.72. Okay. And that's where it's going to sit there. Now remember, as it comes down, it's going to become further and further centered. But what we need to do now is cut our depth. I set this at a 1/2 inch, circle a 1/2 inch, plus the 0.38. So let's take this into another version of a spire, and let's show you how we're going to do that. We're going to copy this. And we'll open up a spire again. And this time we're setting it up for the vertical bench vise. So let's go ahead and do that. Create our new component here. We're going to be a single-sided. And the X is going to be 1.15. Okay? And in the Y is going to be 3. The thickness, now that's as thick as the entire piece is going to be. So technically we could say 12.5. Doesn't matter a whole bunch. Material surface. And this time our XY is down here in the lower right corner. Okay, we're going to hit on OK. Now the reason it's there is because on our machine you have the fence that sits right here. Okay, and this is our first fence, and then we have another fence that sits and goes out this direction. So we wanted to get a good positive stop here in the corner. Okay. Now with that in mind, let's paste our piece, throw it on over here, and here's where we belong. Now first things first, we got to bring it down to 0.38 inches. So to do that, we're going to take our square that we've already got right here, and we're going to offset outwards and I'm going to go out 3/16 of an inch. There it is there. Okay. And this becomes the first tool path. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just pocket that off, and we're going down 0.38 inches. And that 0.38 inches comes from right here, which is from that tip down to the surface of our tenon. Okay, so we have that 0.38. Let's go ahead and calculate that one. And here it's going to machine it off. Now, be aware, some of it's going to cut in the air, and that's going to be okay. Second thing we're going to do now is we're going to come back over here. We're going to grab our tenon right here, and we're going to radius out these corners. Now, the only reason we radius them out is because when I do the inside, I want to radius it as well. So I'm just going to go to my fillet tool, and I'm going to fillet each of these corners. Ooh, let's go with a normal, not a dog bone, huh? There, 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 and there. Okay. And now what we'll do is we're going to pocket between this guy and this larger guy. And we're going to be a little careful about this. We're going to be above that. But we want to do that so that we're out here and a little bit beyond. Okay. So let's go ahead and lay that out. Pocket. We're going to start at 0.38 deep, and we're going to cut down. Ooh, that's photo V-car. Let's get the right tool path in here. Pocketing. We're going to go 0.38, and we're going to go down 0.5, and let's go ahead and calculate that. So here, what it's going to do, it's going to machine everything off. Okay, and there is our tenon. Now, remember, the one thing that Aspire can't do for us, which is a little bit frustrating, is they can't show us that straight up and down if the board below it's on an angle. So we're going to have to use a little bit of our imagination, and all we're looking for is this right here. And this is our board from the side. It should look just like that. Okay. All right. If you have any questions about how I did this or how I drew the part up, write a note down in the comments. We'd love to answer those for you. If you'd like to see more about our classes, what we do, and our live Tuesday night class that we offer once a month, go ahead and fill out the form below, and we'll do our very best to take good care of you. Thanks so much. Look forward to hearing from you. Bye now. That was a Reader's Digest condensed version of what was going to be 3 classes all in one.